Hello, this is Nathaly with the Real Estate Investment Nomad podcast. Today we're all the way back to Europe in Portugal. With JM here. Thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
So JM is the country leader of Portugal in our organization. I want to chat about what it's like to be an agent in a different country, especially in Portugal. Some of the benefits, the challenges, what is like the market, what's the process of buying there too. Because many people are wondering, I think Portugal is a hot destination right now for many Europeans.
It is not only for Europeans, but also for Americans. Portugal has been under the radar for Americans for the last, I would say, 5, 6 years. And it's very interesting because the market is growing. So when you discover a small country like Portugal, from one moment to the other, you start having a lot of people not only showing interest, but also moving to Portugal. And that created a movement that has an impact in the country as a whole, not only culturally speaking, but also in real estate. So the market was already hot for the last 10 years. The market is growing because we have more demand than supply. So basically the prices are going up for the last 9 to 10 years. And now what we are having is that we are seeing more and more, I would say, high-end construction. I don't like the word luxury, but high-end construction, because the demands of those expats coming to Portugal tend to go that way. So there's a lot of opportunities here. Still, obviously, we have a long coast, so a lot of beaches and a lot of places that people want to go. But not only that, to the interior of the country as well, estates like vineyards and bigger properties are also under the radar. So a lot of opportunities. The market is growing. The challenge is, well, language barrier is not pretty much of a problem here, because in Portugal everyone has English as a second language since the first grade. So it's not a big issue, I would say. And we are friendly people, so which means that we'll welcome everyone very well.
That's awesome. And what do you think that the growth is allocated to? Is it the location, the weather, the prices? I mean, it used to be cheaper before, but now
Yeah,
what do
it's
you
not so cheap as it was like 10 years ago,
right?
but it's still a cheap country. And I would say it's a bit of everything that you said. And it's a warm country. It's one of the safest countries in the world in the peace index. And that is also very interesting. So everyone that comes to Portugal wants to um, have the vibe and experience the vibe of a relaxed country, a little bit like California. In the States, it's that same
It's like
kind of
West Coast weather too.
yeah.
Are you guys on the West Coast?
Yeah, it's same kind of vibe, very relaxed, chill by the beach. Surfers also love it because we have a couple of spots here in Portugal, that kind of stuff.
That's awesome. And we just did a Portugal tour not long ago, like
Mhm.
last week. We just finished main cities of Portugal. Based on the cities and the locations, what kind of people do you think get attracted to, like, let's say, main cities like Porto and Lisbon, Algarve, for example? What kind of buyers you see coming?
Interesting. So Lisbon, the city of Lisbon itself, it's not a major destination, but the greater Lisbon area. So areas like Cascais and Sintra are more under the radar than Lisbon itself. But when you go to Porto, it's the other way around. It's the city of Porto that is attracting younger people and more based in the center of the city. Also very interesting, Braga, up to the north, because it's tech city. So again, attracting another kind of people to the city. And then you have the Algarve. Okay, the Algarve is the place of excellence for people that come to the Algarve, to Portugal. They all know the Algarve as a destination.
Would you say Algarve is more of a luxury family, or more people who want to retire, have a peaceful life kind of thing, or is just
Both.
like
So
Porto? I feel like it's in Lisbon and Porto,
yeah,
but
yeah. When you go to Porto, you have younger people still in their working
yeah,
ages, family kind of people. When you come, for instance, more to the area of Cascais, you see older people, retired, wanna
relax.
relax,
I
and
don't want too much of the noise of the
yeah,
city.
yeah. So again, different cities, different destinations, different kind of
Buyers too, right?
yeah, right.
Awesome. And for the property taxes and people who actually move here, I mean, I think it's a big attraction. I know Spain is low property taxes, like the yearly ones. Um, in the US, it's very expensive to live when it comes to taxes.
Mhm.
Also goes with benefits,
Yeah.
to it. But I heard and I know that one of our peers mentioned, people move here because it's so low to pay the property tax on the homes. What would be kind of an average? I mean, I know it will vary by location, by municipality too, but what an average
You can count between 8 and 10% of the overall price of the property. Yeah, around
be
that.
for the sales or tax or the yearly
No. For the buyer, for the moment you buy,
when they're closing?
yeah, and then the municipal taxes are very very low, and that compared to the states makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think we did a small comparison on a property that was like a three best, two bath house in the US based on where you are. Let's say Chicago, that's the kind of market I know. And depending on the area, you can pay up to 8,000, sometimes up to $20,000 a year in only
Just
property
for
tax.
municipality
Yeah.
taxes, yeah,
Yes. And here, I think it was about the same size of a house.
full of hundreds,
Yeah, it was
thousand,
max.
yeah, max.
Like,
It's a big difference, yes.
and that gives you such a break because then you can save that amount of money every year and probably travel or do whatever you want with it,
Yep.
but not, put it all for property
Yeah,
tax.
I remember that in Florida, I believe it's 2% of the price of the property on a yearly basis, the taxes. Here in Portugal, you're talking about 0.4%.
0.000.
It's zero.
It's 16%.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So,
amazing. It's a break.
yeah, and obviously the houses are cheaper here than in the
Yes.
States, of course.
Yeah. No, I like the lifestyle that Portugal gives and the energy in the area. It's like there's a little bit for everybody.
Mhm.
There's as you said, the beach, maybe the surfers, the people who just want to go in the water, there's sand beaches. And what do you foresee the growth of Portugal will be, especially with the agents? You guys have the challenge that there is no MLS here,
Yes,
and
we don't
it's
have MLS.
difficult for
Yes.
agents.
Yeah, we do have portals, but it's not as good as an MLS
Yeah.
solution. But anyway, it's what we have. Another thing that I'm feeling, um, it's very interesting because we have now more and more expats coming to Portugal to work as realtors.
Really?
And that is another interesting challenge. Well, for a company like us, because we are borderless, it's not that difficult. And again, everyone, for instance, in our Portuguese staff, speak fluent English. So it's not an issue. But it's interesting to see that we have people coming to Portugal and I'm, okay, I don't have a license because I don't need a license here in Portugal. I have it in the States. But I'm going to work as a realtor because I have my connections in the States. So I'll be like a buyer's agent here
Yeah.
in Portugal. And we're seeing, last month I had a meeting with some colleagues of ours from California, and they were attracting an agent here in Portugal from another agency, and it is joining the XP at the moment. He was born in the States, but yeah, his parents are Portuguese, so he came back to the Azores Islands, and he's now joining the XP. And we have a couple of examples like this every month. People that are expats but want to work as a realtor here in Portugal.
It is good because then you can bring your own market and you know how your buyers buy from wherever you're from.
Exactly.
And then you can guide them through the local process.
Again, because that's very important when you move. Okay, it's not just selecting an agent.
Yes.
Okay, you have to find the person that will help you walk the walk, because it's not just about the property itself. Okay, I want to buy that house. That's the easy part.
Yeah.
The other part, the bureaucracy, the experience itself of moving from a country to another one that you don't know about. So it's important to have someone that already walked your walk
Yes.
to
Your
support
culture,
you.
sure.
Yeah, and understand both
Yeah.
cultures, because that's very important.
Yeah. That's awesome. And for the the benefits, we've talked about some of the benefits, some of the risks. Are there any risks in Portugal when a buyer comes without understanding much about the market? At least in Mexico, we have issues with our titles. Sometimes they're not clean, they're not updated, or we have some risks.
Or the documentations,
Something similar here.
or warranties regarding the construction. So my recommendation is that if you come to Portugal, choose an agent first, a buyer's agent first. Someone that you really trust, that will support you along the way, and not just to the title deed moment after that, because after that, sometimes you will have more problems than before signing the title deed.
Interesting.
Okay, for instance, renovation. Okay, how am I gonna navigate with the vendors, the suppliers, and stuff? It's good to have someone on your side that's
Yeah, especially when you don't know much about how it works.
exactly.
If you buy a house and renovate it, how is the labor cost and supply cost here? Because it's been going up year over year. But I mean, how does it work in Portugal? You need, I'm sure, permits and everything, right? But
Yeah, again, costs are going up. Yes, labor costs are rising. But on the other hand, the biggest problem is that if you choose the wrong person to do the work, that person might leave you half of the work done. And that's a big problem, because then you have to find another person
to finish.
to do it again,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah.
So it's very important that you have an agent by your side supporting you all along the way,
Awesome.
and not just to the title.
Right. That's amazing. Well, what advice would you give to some of the agents that are looking at us and they'll be like, I'm curious to do what you just said, being an expat in Portugal, maybe work in the real estate space. What kind of advice would you give them?
Well, my advice is very simple. Let's chat first. Let's have a three-way call, like I did with our colleagues in San Francisco. They were like 8 hours away from us, but we managed to, because it's important, the culture, what you're expected to find before. So it's not just, oh, I want to go to Portugal and that's that.
Yeah.
And that's that. No, let's have a
work first.
yeah, let's have a chat first. That's why it's one of my roles as a country leader is to support agents, regardless if they're in Portugal already, if they're Portuguese or not, but to support the ones that want to attract agents to come to this market.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much for all the information. It was very informative to understand more from the agent side of things. And how can people find you online? What are your handles? Social media?
Yeah, you can find me pretty much, we follow each other on social media. Instagram, it's João Miguel _Louro. It's the same as on Facebook and on LinkedIn. João Miguel Louro.
Awesome. JM here from Portugal. Thank you so much. And
My
we'll
pleasure.
definitely put all your links in the description so you can click and go straight there.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll see you guys next time. Portugal is in the map and it's growing, so don't miss it out. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate Investment Nomad podcast. I hope today's episode has inspired you to explore new horizons in global real estate. Remember, the world is full of opportunities waiting to be discovered. And with the right insights, you can turn those opportunities into successful investments. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback helps us bring you the best content possible. Don't forget to follow us in social media for more resources and updates. Until next time, my friends, this is Nathaly Salas, encouraging you to think big, invest globally, and transform your real estate journey. Safe travels and happy investing.